Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Spider-Man for the PS4. Last time, we finished off the last of the side quests, so everything is now 100%, except for the campaign, which you will see is still at 94, because we still have one mission left. So I'm going to switch from my favorite suit over to the advanced suit. The suit that was advertised for the game. So I'm going to be spending this last video here in this suit. Now, I say last video, but this isn't going to be the end of the playthrough. This is technically going to be the end of this particular. It's going to be the end of this particular run of the game, but I do have one last thing to show you after this, which will be in its own video. Alright, let's go ahead and get over to the final mission. I could fast travel over there, but I really don't want to. I want to enjoy swinging around in this game just a little longer. This Spider-Man game truly is the best. It is the best it is by far the best Spider-Man game. Personally, it might not be my favorite Spider-Man game. It is not my favorite Spider-Man game. But it is a Spider-Man game that I very much enjoy. So here we are. So, we got everything we need. All the gadgets, done. Skills, done. Missions, it's the only one left. Collectibles.
This is it, folks. This...
I already got that one. Okay. And I know there's supposed to be one more. There's supposed to be a seventh one here. Backpacks, got all those. Bases is the only thing that I don't have over 100 tokens of. That honestly kind of irritates me a little bit that I don't have over 100 base tokens. That's a little irritating to me. So, I mean, I know I'm going to be playing this game more. So, I mean, I'm probably going to get the other 26 base tokens at another point. Yeah, and here we go with newspaper articles. Yeah. Benchmarks, I got a lot of benchmarks. I've done a lot of benchmarks. Yeah, and I've been doing these over the course of like several playthroughs. I haven't really been trying to hit every single benchmark. We don't get a character bio for Screwball. We don't get a character bio for Screwball or for the guy that we helped in the last episode. We don't get character bios for either of them, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, in Screwball's case, because I hate her. Here we go. It still says 96, even though you all saw me meet the requirements for the last Screwball mission in that one. So, that sucks. It sucks that the game refuses to acknowledge that I did it. But, you know, I've shown you guys that I have 100%ed it. Alright. Let's go ahead and...
Let's get to work.
Let's go ahead and do the final mission.
So where's this base you talked about? Whoa. Your toys are so much cooler than mine.
And here we go. We're loading in the last mission of the game.
I love this invisible floating fortress thing. But now that all of New York City has seen it, Hammerhead will probably be here soon.
I am counting on it. So let us work quickly. I have acquired the Class 5 laser array. We need to calibrate it to prevent it from overheating.
Lucky for us, I'm working on my master's in calibration. Let's do this. Okay, what's first?
Pull the housing array into place.
On it. Huh. Whoa, nice laser.
Housing locked.
Done and done.
We are not done.
Oh,
We must reset the targeting field aerials.
sure thing. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Exit the hangar and navigate to the top of the nearby transmitters.
Alrighty. So, we should talk about the strategy with Hammerhead, don't you think?
What is there to talk about?
Find him. Then focus the laser on the plate in his head. The laser will heat the carbon steel to critical temperature, which will rearrange its molecular structure.
And soften it so I can knock him unconscious. I get that part, but how do you know it won't, melt his brain?
When the wolf attacks the sheep, he risks getting shot by the shepherd.
Okay, well, Shepard, just remember my no-killing rule, okay? Done. How's it look?
Systems appear functional. Now we must test the targeting and power levels.
Cool. Wait, this doesn't involve shooting me, does it?
Not yet, but I do need you to launch those targets.
Right. Okay, ready?
Ready.
Bombs away! Hit it! Pull!
Just a few more.
Cool with me, this is fun! Here comes another one! Nice shot! Is this how modern military teach shooting? Oh! Can we do one more? Please?
You are a child.
Yeah, well, we're all children on the inside.
Got it?
Whoa!
Come back. We have one more thing to do.
On my way.
We must adjust the gyroscopic navigation stabilizer in order to compensate for the weight of the laser. Go to that terminal and wait for me to activate the system. System ready.
I'm going in. Okay, that should do it.
You two teaming up now? Cute. But it ain't gonna do no good.
Sable? Use a little help here!
The laser is down.
Can you fix it?
I am trying.
Okay, I'll just do the hammerhead waltz for a bit. Okay, time to get personal.
I just want to thank you for showing me what I've been doing wrong for years. If I want to rule this city, I gotta modernize, evolve.
Almost there.
Now that I'm
Sable, what's your status?
Laser is back online. Keep it safe.
Now I can get in close.
keep trying, keep failing. I'm indestructible. I need reinforcements now. You're going down.
He's quick. I gotta be quicker.
He's airborne. This is a fight you ain't gonna win.
Locking in.
All right.
Indestructible, huh? I think not.
Look at me. Still no respect. What's it gonna take?
You know what I respect? A guy who knows when to quit.
Commencing bombing run.
All right, phase 2.
Damn, I missed.
Keep them coming. I'll make sure the next one hits.
I dropped the bomb. Throw it at him.
I grabbed. Yes, got it. Time to get.
You think you're hurting me? Ah, nothing hurts me no more.
Do not let him hit you.
Yeah, try it.
Got it.
Acquiring target.
Now's my chance. Give up now, before I really hurt you.
You got skill. I give you one chance. Join my crew or die.
Taking another pass.
Eat this.
Shield is out.
Love your tech, Sable. Too bad I gotta use it to take you out.
Firing.
All right, here we go.
Can't let him hit me.
Let's see it not dead.
Keep your distance.
He decided to start flying.
Good tip, Jay. Teamwork. His shield's down.
I can't see
I
anything.
think not. Man, he's back. Shoot him!
I am trying. No. The laser is down.
almost him.
Okay.
Then what?
Get ready to jump.
Wait, what?
Woo!
That was fun. Hey, you have dinner plans? I know this great pizza place.
I must return to Simcaria.
Right. You have a war to fight.
I do not like to fight. Do what I have to in order to help my people.
I know. That's what heroes do.
I'm no hero. But you have taught me a few things.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Like how to disarm my enemies with bad jokes.
Actually, they're good jokes, but I understand humor can be subjective.
Thank you, Spider-Man. For everything. I don't do hugs.
Yeah, right. Of course. Hey, can I get a lift back to the city? I'd swim, but it'd take forever to get the river smell out of my suit.
Excelsior! In memory of Stan Lee, who inspired us all to be great. Oh. We miss you, Stan Lee! That is so sad! Alright. So, that was it. That was Silver Lining. And that is the end of the DLC for the game. Now, like I've been saying, I do have one other thing that I do want to show off to everybody. There is one more thing. But before I get to that, let me just go ahead and give my final thoughts on the DLC as a whole. Gonna turn the volume down a little bit so I can hear myself better. So I like the DLC story. I like the DLC story, I do, but after how massive the story of the main game wound up being, this felt really small and insignificant by comparison. It did not feel like this did not feel like a very good continuation of the story of the game. I like it. I just wish it had, gone bigger, done more, and I really wish it had done so with someone, with a villain other than Hammerhead. Like, perhaps have Hammerhead die at the end of the second one, and then you find out that Hammerhead was actually working for Kingpin or something, and then Kingpin breaks himself out. Ends up breaking himself out of prison, and like Kingpin is the villain. you know, bring Kingpin back and have him be the final boss of the DLC. That actually, I feel like, would have been a lot more interesting. It would have made everything feel bigger because, you know, everything has been building, everything has been, like, building to Kingpin coming back and all that stuff. Like, it would, the story would have felt a lot grander, and it would have felt like a proper continuation of how massive the main game feels. As it is, it feels incredibly small. The story feels incredibly small. I still enjoy it. I still think it was really fun. It just wasn't as big as I felt it could have been. And Hammerhead, while not a bad villain, I just don't think he's good enough to carry all 3 DLCs. I don't think Hammerhead is good enough to carry all 3 DLCs. So, Hammerhead, like, from everything that I've seen in the past of Spider-Man, Hammerhead works best when he's, like, the second in command of, like, an evil group. Like, he's at his best as kind of an enforcer and less as a strategic mastermind. He doesn't really work as the whole strategic mastermind. You can't, it's hard to think that he's smart when his main method of fixing problems is just to bash it with his skull. You know? So I don't think he works as, like, this big mastermind villain. I think he needs to be the enforcer and someone else be a mastermind. But that said, as far as the individual DLCs go, the Heist is definitely my favorite, because Black Cat, best girl, love her. Then it's Silver Lining. Because I love all of the comedy, all the jokes that are in this DLC. I think that they really hit the nail on the head with the comedy in this one. They did a really good job with having some good comedy in this. I feel like comedy was severely lacking in DLC 2, and DLC 1 was more about, like, was more dramatic in the fact that, like, you weren't sure if Black Cat was lying or not about her son, you know? So there was a lot more mystery. There was a bunch of mystery to the first one, and then a bunch of, like, seriousness to the second one. And so the third DLC really went all in with the comedy, and I really enjoyed that. Turf Wars is my least favorite of them. I feel like it kind of takes itself a little too seriously, and it just kind of... I liked Yuri. I liked Yuri Watanabe. I thought she was a really cool character. I had never heard of her until this game. I had never heard of Yuri Watanabe until this game. In memory of Steve Ditko, who with the stroke of his pen made the world amazing. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm gonna shut up for a bit.
Ready? I think the web shooters are a little tight. Get used to it. Just try to keep up.
I like that. This concludes the City That Never Sleeps saga.
Okay, Hammerhead's finished. His men are still out there. A spider's work is never done.
I'm gonna go ahead and head over here to the Empire State Building. There we go.
Today is a fine day in New York City. At long last, Hammerhead has been taken down for good, cyborg parts and all. I will even give Spider-Man and Silver Sable an ounce of credit. They did, after all, land the final blow. However, while the mainstream media trips over itself to heap lavish praise on these vigilantes, allow me to give you a dose of facts. Hammerhead would have never gotten this far had it not been for Silver Sable leaving behind all her gear in the city. And don't get me started on Spider-Man stoking the fires of a gang war and forcing a decorated police captain into administrative leave. So sure, they cleaned up the mess, but they were also the ones that made it.
And there we go. And with that, yep, credit. There we go. That's all the JJJ archives. Okay. So yeah, I personally, what I think they should have done, given we now have the benefit of hindsight with Miles Morales, which I will be playing that game at some point soon as well. Well, whenever I get my PS5. Because, you know, mine, I got screwed over with mine, pre-ordered it, and then they sold it, so never got mine. So that sucks. But once I get my hands on my PS5, so I can finally clear off the dust off of the controller charger, and 5 PS5 games that I have just sitting here in my room, I will be playing the Miles Morales game. And personally, I feel like we shouldn't have gotten this as DLC. The City That Never Sleeps should have been the first half of the Miles Morales game. That's what I believe. I believe that the first half of the Miles Morales game should have been this whole story, The City That Never Sleeps, and then the second half of the game would have been about Miles. First half is about Peter, second half is about Miles. I feel like that's what we should have done. Because that would have made Miles Morales feel like a more complete game. And I'll go a lot deeper into my thoughts on Miles Morales when I get around to playing that game, but I have several issues with it. I have several issues with it. But I'll go into those once we actually get around to playing it. But yeah, so I feel like this, while it was a good story, I don't feel like it was a necessary addition to this game. I feel like they should have waited till the release of Miles Morales, and they should have had, and maybe instead of calling it Spider-Man Miles Morales, just call it Spider-Men. Call it Spider-Men, and have it be like have the image be one of both Peter Parker Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man. Boom. There you go, Spider-Men. And then you got the City That Never Sleeps storyline as the first half of the game, and then Miles Morales is the second half. Boom. Done. I feel like that's what they should... I personally feel like that's what they should have done. I don't feel like... this was worth putting at the end of such a massive game as the main game. I don't feel like this was worth putting here. And I don't feel like Miles Morales is worth having it be its own thing.
Call my doctor and double all my prescriptions.
Oh. Okay.
I'm red here, folks. Eyewitnesses have confirmed that there is no longer just one Spider-Man, but two of them. I mean, one is bad enough, but I'm having a hard time dealing with the idea of multiple menaces swinging through our beautiful city. It's just... Jared, I might be having a heart attack. I need to lie down, folks. No, don't call an ambulance. It's too expensive. Call a cab. I have a coupon in my wallet. Don't go in my wallet, Jared. I'll do it. I'll do
it. Okay. I actually had never heard that one before. Okay, that one was new. Okay. Thank you, JJ. Thank you, JJ. That was great. But yeah. So, still, overall, I feel like the DLC was incredibly fun, just too small to warrant being connected to such a massive story as the main game, and should have been included as the first half of the Miles Morales game. That would have at least made Miles Morales feel like a more complete game, instead of it feeling half-assed. And yeah, that's a whole bag of worms I'm going to be digging into when I play that game. But with that said, still best Spider-Man game ever made. Is it my favorite Spider-Man game? No. No, it's not. It is definitely the best Spider-Man game ever made. I can definitely acknowledge that. But as far as my personal favorite, there is another Spider-Man game that I actually kind of enjoy more. For honestly no other reason than pure nostalgia. Like, I have so many fond memories of this other game. Of playing it with like friends and family. I absolutely love the game. It's my favorite. It's my personal favorite Spider-Man game because it is so connected to my childhood. So that one will always be number one for me in terms of my personal favorite Spider-Man games. Hopefully I'll be able to play it for the channel at some point. I really want to. But it's a PS2 title. I don't have the equipment necessary to be able to get that set up at the moment. So, but it's the PS2 game Spider-Man Friend or Foe. That is my personal favorite Spider-Man game simply because of the pure nostalgia that it holds for me. But this game is definitely a close second. It comes in very close in second. Honestly, when this game first came out, I was honestly debating whether or not this was my favorite Spider-Man game or not. But Friend or Foe will always be number one for me. Simply because I just have so many fond memories of playing that with friends and family. But this is definitely my number two. Absolutely love this game. Fantastic. If you haven't played it yet, please go ahead and do it. I absolutely adore it. But with that said, that's going to do it for this video. There is one more thing that I want to do in this playthrough, and I will be showing that off here very soon. So, hope you guys are looking forward to that. And, yeah. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody!